Hey everybody, welcome back to the Nexus where we spotlight some of our favorite local businesses. I'm excited for you guys to get to know Chris Taylor today. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Thanks for having me.
He's the owner of CT Construction, does awesome work, and he's been a great client of ours, so it's going to be a fun show today. I also want to wish everybody happy Valentine's Day, so hope everyone's having a great day so far. Well, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to come in today, Chris. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, well, we like to start the show just kind of with an introduction of like who you are, where you were born, where you came from, kind of how you got to where you are today.
Yep. Name's Chris Taylor. I originally was born in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh, cool.
Moved here roughly when I was 5. Obviously, I don't remember all that much, but kind of went through life, obviously, as a Lincoln, Nebraska resident through college and at the university. Starting when I was 15 years old, started in framing construction.
Awesome.
So kind of like the base or the bones of a house, and just kind of took off from there. Obviously, during college, I was doing remodels for a rental business and stuff like that. And as I worked my way and learning things through there, once I got out of college, I did commercial construction for about a year. Realized that wasn't kind of the realm that I wanted.
Not as much as what you enjoyed with residential.
Correct, yeah. I really like the challenging aspects and different personalities of homeowners and stuff like that, where they bring in their ideas and we collaborate them, either if it's with a designer or if it's without a designer, trying to figure out, what best looks good for them and what they overall like. So I kind of, after working with Sampson Construction for a little bit in the commercial industry, kind of just veered off and went to actually a total different track, went to the state of Nebraska for a little bit.
Oh, interesting.
Worked with their development of their construction software, and then just realized I was doing construction on the side part-time. So I was working until 9, 10, 11 at night after I got off work, and then realized, hey, I'm busy enough.
Right.
Might as well just go full force with it, and took the risk and went full force, started a business. And I originally had started, it used to be CT Home Improvements, but that was just based off of working under a buddy doing wood floors and stuff. And then once I got out of the wood floors and started doing the side remodeling stuff, just went full force with CT Construction, just changed names just with incorporating and everything. So.
Just encompasses a lot more of what you're able to do.
Correct. And ever since then, it's just been growing from there. And
it sounds like you're growing. You got a new employee starting next week, so things are going pretty good. It is scary though when you take that leap. You let go of that full-time job, and you're like, well, we'll see what happens.
It is. I can tell you one thing: as a business owner, it is a very scary situation at times.
Yeah, and you had a wife at the time. I'm assuming you were already married, and it's just a big change. But
because you're financially looking, for the most part, looking for your jobs at the first beginning of getting your business started. So
making sure you keep getting those lined up, but also getting your other jobs done timely.
Reaching out and seeing what you can find and what you can help people with. I mean, the construction industry is so vast that there's plenty of work around, and it's just a matter of reaching out and knowing people. And typically they have work that they may need help on, etc.
Well, everyone's probably got a project that they've been sitting on. So I feel like a good contractor, anyone that answers the phone and is like, responsive with getting like a quote out, like you'll have great success. It's just,
and that's usually one thing I value myself on is no matter the time of day or in the night, in the evening hours, even if you're up in the early morning hours, if you call, if I'm up, 90% of the time I'll answer.
That's awesome.
If I don't answer, then it's just shooting a text, and then I always kind of go back at the end of the day and kind of take a look at what text messages and phone calls came through, and I always reach back out to
That's
whoever.
huge.
So it's not
communication is like one of the most frustrating components of any like home project for a lot of people. That I hear that all the time, and I'm like, how is this possible? Because we've got some great clients. They're construction, and I know they do what they say they're going to do, and they get back to people. So it's like, just do the basics, right?
Yeah, and most homeowners that are looking to have a project done, they just want somebody to answer. Yeah. Ideally, I mean,
and keep them updated on progress or timeline.
Yeah. And nowadays, progresses are a little hard depending on if you're scaling up and depending on schedules and stuff like that. Construction, obviously, with some of the clients and stuff, you get last minute jobs that you can fit in at end of the days and stuff like that, but they still take times on schedules. So it kind of it builds, but there's a steady here and there for scheduling and keeping up to date. So I try my best on all that stuff. Sometimes it's hard.
It is hard. That's absolutely that's for sure. So it sounds like you guys do a great job with remodels. Do you want to maybe talk about a project you guys worked on recently, something somewhat unique or a challenge you guys encountered?
Some of the current stuff, I suppose, is challenges. We started getting a little bit more into the additions.
Nice.
So in one of the major kind of first two additions, we did a master bath and master bedroom addition, which it had its own challenges in itself because we were taking obviously an older house and trying to incorporate everything new and trying to rerun ductwork, rerun water lines, rerun all the electrical and update it to code. So I mean it gets pretty intense when it comes to
but you guys can handle it, and I'm sure it turned out great.
Yep, and then some of the other projects I personally like the most are opening up floor plans and the challenges that come along with it, because as soon as you open up walls, you don't have the space to put outlets, ductwork, switches, even electrical at that point. So
right, like that wall was put there originally for some reason.
For a reason. For a reason. So that's what I like to try to figure out, those complications and figure out workarounds and make it look like it needs to in the end.
Well, and just giving new life to an existing home, and making it accommodate whatever that family is looking for. Like, my dad did a lot of remodels more towards the end of his career, and I think he did really enjoy that because it was like, maybe it was a home he had even built, but it was like as their family changed and maybe they were able to do an addition, and it's exciting for people. It's like it's something they've been like working towards for a long time, and
and with
it's like really rewarding to do those projects.
It is, and even on our end it's rewarding, not just on the homeowner side. It's even on our end. It's fun to do, just especially with like. And
you probably get to know the families because they're still living there, coming in and out, and so you get to know them more than you would on like a new construction project.
Correct. Yeah, and I'm more personable. I like making the connection and having almost, in a way, like a lifelong friend. That you can always talk to and reach out and figure out what businesses they're doing and what they're in the industry, and maybe. It's all about connections, it seems like nowadays, so that always helps.
You're a people person.
Yes, I am. I can, on estimates, usually my wife knows big time, like I'll drag her along with me sometimes and, say, hey, it's going to be a half hour of talking about a kitchen, well, then it ends up being an hour and a half of just getting to know the person and just talking. Talking through the process and just getting all the details and everything out of the person. So.
Well, you mentioned your wife, and I'm going to tell everybody that you're going to be having a baby soon, so that's really exciting. So if his phone rings, we're assuming it's his wife, so it's fine.
So, and it's one of those, it's
starting a family.
Starting a family. Exciting. It's gonna be in it's gonna be interesting.
It's a little scary just right before, but you'll be a great dad, I'm sure.
Yeah,
so.
and we haven't told a lot of people, so it's gonna be.
Oh man,
gonna
we
be,
just like
yeah, now it's gonna be out there. So it's but hey, it's what
your 1,000 followers are for sure gonna know.
Hey, that's fine with me.
Yeah,
it's gonna come out someday. And
yeah,
might as well get it out sometime soon.
Yeah,
so.
we'll look forward to seeing some pictures. So you have additions now that you've done. We're going to have to update the website. We're going to have to get pictures of those on there. So just maybe talk really quick about, the process working with True North, building your website, and anything you've had us do since then.
As far as the whole process on everything, we were kind of, with our original website, I'm assuming that's what kind of we go into, and so with our original website, we kind of just didn't, something wasn't working.
Yeah.
So, and just decide to, obviously you got to reach out to multiple agencies, and same way with construction, you got to
get a couple bids.
You got to get a couple bids and stuff like that. So we kind of went out of a whim, just kind of started reaching out, talking to people, and got in connection with True North through other referrals and stuff like that. So, and then we kind of went through the overall process, which was, in our heads, it was fairly simple, straightforward, and
that's good.
Everybody,
we hope it is.
I say everybody treated us with respect and gave us their ideas instead of us going in there and having to give all our ideas what we
you're
want.
Like, that's what you're here for, right?
Correct. Like I didn't personally want to I didn't even want to deal with it. I just wanted to see it and see the overall outcome of my ideas and talk through it, etc. So, and at the end, it came out really good, and we have enjoyed everything with it, and we'll continue to update and continue to add, packages onto it, and keep things going.
Yeah, so. That's awesome. Yeah, we know that you're busy doing your regular job, so we want to make sure it's not time consuming for you to build a website, so.
Yep, and everybody.
That's awesome.
Yep, everybody took care of things in the back end, and we didn't, besides a few meetings, we just sat back and somebody else did it. So
website's live,
which is perfect for us.
You're a great client because the team really enjoys that when they get kind of creative license to do what they want, and you're not like don't like it when they're done with it. So it was a great process. Good client. I didn't hear much about the project because it went so well, so that's a good thing.
We gave our input, and they took it, rolled with it, and it turned out, if not better than what we expected. So
one thing I was going to ask, you had mentioned earlier that you'll install like beams in like open spaces. Tell me a little bit more about that. Do you have to start with like a smooth ceiling or?
Nope. So basically, you can start with almost any floor plan. It's just what you have going on as far as, again, HVAC, electrical, plumbing, running through it. Some of those things you can't really tell, so that adds to the challenging unless you have X-ray vision to look through. Through the walls. So, but nowadays we started getting into it because a lot of people are with the housing market the way it is at times, and not a whole lot of houses on the market to buy and stuff. People want to redo their floor plans as far as getting more space, getting more functionality, not feeling so boxed out. So what we end up doing is obviously we do discovery holes to look and see what, depending on the process that we're in, as far as after bidding and stuff and talking through the whole process. Go in and do discovery holes, find out what's in a wall. We find out we make sure everything's safe, structurally wise, and run it through the process of structural engineers if we have to, and then the overall like beam length and stuff come into factors. If we can use wood versus steel, what cut costs here, what to make it a cost effective but make your home
also look really good.
Great, in the end, and more functionality.
Yeah.
So we do a lot of that. Not a lot of people seem to do it, or they just
I was
don't
gonna
know.
say, I bet that's not something that every builder wants to get into. It just might not be something they feel really comfortable doing.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Just because there's so many unforeseens that
Yeah.
a lot of people just don't. But it's all a matter of explaining what has to happen.
Yeah.
Price points, as far as what a price point would be for a standard install versus obviously making sure that you have contingencies in there for plumbing moving, electrical moving, all that stuff. You know, there's every now and then you run into your issues, but that's going to happen on every project. So.
Absolutely. There's always the thing hiding in the wall that you weren't expecting.
Oh, correct. So, but that is one of the major things that we liked. I personally like to do it. I don't know if my guys do, but they get forced into it anyways. So, but they've figured out easier ways for them to move beams around, lift beams, and get the structure that we need. So
that's awesome. That's complex stuff. So that's cool. That you're doing that.
It seems to be one of those things that people are starting to enjoy. And just walking in their home one day, first they see a wall in the morning, and that very evening they come in and it's wide open with.
Oh my gosh, that would be cool to see them experience that. Like, that'd be wild. But that's really cool. I always kind of like to ask business owners if there's any advice or something that you've learned along the way with starting your business that you think might be useful for another business owner.
For another business owner, I would tell you, if one thing I always worried about was people coming into my business and then taking what they learned and going and starting their own business, which fine, but it's very challenging at first. It's one of those things that you have to take in consideration of everything that a business takes, and you have to do your research and stay on top of it. I would say don't give up. There's always an end in sight, and there's always more accomplishments out of it than negativity. Yeah. So, one of the things,
like, it's not for everybody, but like if it is a dream of yours, sticking with it and showing up even when it gets hard.
Yeah.
Just making sure like you can achieve your dreams. Yeah.
Yeah, and make sure if you're starting not necessarily a construction business, but make sure you're personable, and the connectivity between a client and you is really good, just because that goes a long way for a person. Yeah. So just being personable, because a lot of people try not to get personal. They try to keep business away from personal life, so they try to stick with just straight towards business, and some people just don't like that. And that's one thing I try to tell my guys, like, always be personable, always stay in good contact with them as much as you can throughout the busy work days. And for like, if they were ever split off and do it, yes, they can do it, go ahead. I mean, it's not, there's ups and downs. There's ups and downs, and businesses, I can tell you that they're not easy. Yeah. So, but at times they're very rewarding. It's having yourself as your own boss. It is very rewarding, and you're a little bit of freedom to do what, depending on your scheduling and your overall workload, you can have a lot of freedom in the end with what you need to. So. Well, that's awesome. I appreciate that. It's different for everybody. Everyone's journey and starting their business is unique. So, I really enjoyed getting to know you better today, and thanks for coming and being on the show. And thanks for having me again.
Yeah, well, best of luck with the delivery. Everything goes smoothly, and we can't wait to see a picture of the new babies.
No, perfect. So, we'll get them up there, and we'll get some. We have some. What do they call them? Prenatal or not?
Oh yeah.
The birth before.
Maternity pictures.
Maternity pictures. Yeah. Before. We have some that we'll probably post and where we need to, just so people can see. But
it's just an exciting time. Your first baby's really special. So
no, I'm excited to see her. Yeah. I'm sure the wife is excited to.
Good thing we snuck this interview in before the baby came.
Correct. Yeah. No, I think she's ready to be here. I think we both are, just so we can kind of get life situated and
figure out what this new life is going to be like.
See what the new life, and hopefully, everything goes well and goes from there.
You'll do great. I have no doubt.
I hope so.
Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. I hope you have a happy Valentine's Day, and we'll see you in a few weeks.